What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie. Today I have for you a first impression / review on MAC Studio Fix Fluid. This is actually not going to be a first impression because I've actually used this foundation back in the day, like many years ago. So I already know if I like this foundation or not and the pros and cons and my opinion about it, but I still wanted to film a review because it felt like a first impression, to be honest with you. It's been so long since I wore it. I used to wear this so much when I modeled and I did pageants and stuff, so it brought back so many memories. The scent is just really unique and it's MAC. You know what I mean? So that being said, let's jump right into the video and show you guys the demo. Alright, so starting with primer, I'm going to be using the MAC Prep and Prime. This is actually my first time using MAC primers. So let's see how well. I like the consistency. Okay. Alright, feels really good on the skin and it seems to be really moisturizing as well, so that's good. Now, the shade that I went for is NC45. If I'm not mistaken, I think I was NC46 once, or NC43. So, you know, I don't know if it's gonna be too dark or too light. We're just going to try to match it. That already kind of sort of looks too much, but I feel like that's gonna be a little bit too dark. Hopefully not. The smell of this brings so many memories, just because I used to use this a lot back in the day. Okay, I mean, doesn't seem so bad. My face is a lot paler than the rest of my body, so I always tend to go darker in my foundations. I'm going to add a few more dots just so I could have a fuller coverage. Wow, I totally forgot how amazing this foundation is. So this was a foundation that they used to use on me when I did pageants. Like every single day I used to wear this foundation, and the makeup artist would recommend MAC Studio Fix Fluid just because it's the best one, especially on stage. This is an amazing foundation to be on stage and I loved it. I repurchased it for a few years and then I randomly stopped using it and started using other products, but now I remember why I loved it so much. Right after applying the foundation, I used to set it with the MAC powder as well, but I don't have one right now, so we're just going to set it with any powder. Honestly, you don't really even need to set it with anything because it's not a matte foundation. It has a beautiful natural finish. If you have super oily skin, definitely set it, but it's not like a must, you know what I mean? So it's pretty much the first impression on the application process. I'm going to finish the rest of my face and come back and let you guys know more pros and cons and my review about it. Alright, so face is done. Obviously, it's actually been a few hours since I did my makeup, but let's move on to the review portion of the video. As always, starting with packaging, I really love it. This doesn't have a pump, but they do sell a pump at MAC, which I believe is $10 or $5. Not quite sure. I actually have one and I use it for my Estee Lauder one, but for this you definitely do need a pump because it's super hard to get the product out. That I believe is like the only con that I necessarily have to say about the packaging, because aside from that I really do love it. Like I mentioned, when I was applying my makeup, I actually used this a lot when I was modeling back in the day and also when I did pageants, so it's great for on stage, for photo shoots, for whenever you have like crazy events or long days. This is a super long lasting foundation. That's another pro. It's super long lasting, it's super full coverage, it's also really buildable. Even though it's a full coverage foundation though, you could definitely just apply a thin layer and it's going to give you a natural beautiful finish, not like super full coverage. New York for you. Color range, amazing. I honestly feel that MAC is an OG when it comes to that because they definitely have every single shade that you're probably looking for. I got NC45. I believe I was like a shade darker back in the day. I don't know why, maybe I was using the wrong one, but this one seemed to be quite perfect for me and I really love how it turned out. It looks like your skin but better kind of foundation. Like it literally blurs everything out, which I absolutely love. It doesn't break, or at least for me, it doesn't break around my mouth area, which is a big problem for me. I'm not going to do the long test wear that I usually do just because I've definitely used a ton. It's a natural finish foundation, so not super matte, not super oily. I feel like this is a great foundation for all skin types. If you have a lot of acne, I feel that this foundation is definitely a lifesaver because it definitely will cover everything. They actually have like a little pot concealer thing that I used to use back in the day and just like conceal my dots or my imperfections, and that was amazing. It's also from the Studio Fix Fluid line. Aside from that, it's one of those foundations that's like your skin but better. It just looks airbrushed, completely airbrushed, and it doesn't really look like you have foundation on, even though it does kind of feel like you have foundation on. So it's not super lightweight, but still lightweight, if that makes any sense. Something that I also noticed, and I feel like it's a major pro on foundations, is that it's so easy to apply product over it. Like you can apply any sort of concealer and it's not going to cake up or just like budge or ruin the foundation that you already applied, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but it's just super easy to apply product over it. Price wise is $30, which I feel like for a high-end foundation is a really great price, especially because it's super long lasting. Like this foundation will last you a year or half a year for sure. Now that I'm seeing it even super close up, to be honest with you, holy cow, everything is just super blurred off. Like my fine lines and my laugh lines don't really show, like my lines and my nose, like I don't know, it just doesn't really show anything, and it's amazing. I really love the finish of this foundation. I don't feel like I have a con to say about it. Just finding the right shade, it's probably like a con because they do have a lot of foundations, and then also the fact that they don't have a pump, but you can easily just purchase one and then ready to go. But that's pretty much it. I feel like that's all I have to say. I am super glad I am back to using MAC Studio Fix Fluid because again, that used to be my favorite foundation back in the day, and it's so good. It's been a long time and I'm glad that we're back together. Oh, I also use these two products, which I actually forgot to mention. The primer is so good. I don't know, like it really primes your skin and it's super moisturizing at the same time, so it's going to cover any imperfections or blurs or pores and stuff. So I love it. And then the Studio Fix Fluid, it's everyone's favorite. Fun fact, I've actually never really owned one. Like I've used it a lot in photo shoots or when I used to model and stuff, but never quite purchased one. So I am so glad. This actually really sets and locks your foundation for the whole entire day, girl. Like this is a must. But yeah, that was pretty much all I have to say about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick first impression / review. Let me know in the comments below if you have tried that foundation or if you've tried any other MAC foundations that you recommend. The Studio Fix Fluid is actually the only MAC foundation I've tried, so if you've tried any others, let me know in the comments below. Let me know which other foundations you want to see a first impression on. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and see you on the next one. What the fuck? Actually, just see. So